This is the YouTube edition of my book, A Course in Miracles Workbook Nuggets, which is a study aid for the course's workbook for students. I'll begin by reading my book's commentary on today's lesson over a visual of the book's text. I'll then return with some further thoughts on the lesson, which are only included in this YouTube edition of my book. Today's lesson is part of a 10-lesson group that runs from lesson 341 through lesson 350, each of which relates to a miracle as understood in the Course. I'll be repeating this same introduction for each of lessons 341 through 350, so you can skip past this introduction in the future if you like. Timestamps taking you directly to today's Workbook Nuggets commentary and my further comments are provided in the description below. In the Course, a miracle is not a spectacular or otherworldly demonstration of divine power. It is simply a correction of perception, a change of perception that sees through the fear of the illusion to the reality of love beneath. The introduction, which precedes these 10 lessons, begins with the following words, quote, "A miracle is a correction. It does not create nor really change at all. It merely looks on devastation and reminds the mind that what it sees is false." End quote. Today's lesson from my book and my further thoughts, which are only contained in this YouTube edition of the book, follow. A link to the book on Amazon.com is provided below. Lesson number 350, December 16. Miracles mirror God's eternal love. To offer them is to remember Him, and through His memory, to save the world. You save the world by remembering God. That is, by remembering that you are not a separate body and personality, struggling to survive in a hostile world and doomed to fail by dying in the end. That is not who you are. Remembering your true reality is the central purpose of the Course. A good start is to just consider the possibility that there may be an entirely different way to think about who and what you are. Just that is an enormous step. When the memory of God does return, you see reality. These views of reality are the miracles, and this new way of seeing is the only way to see and give miracles. Miracles are seen and given with the eyes of Christ. They are seen and given when you remember who and what you are. The title of today's lesson is Miracles Mirror God's Eternal Love. To offer them is to remember Him, and through His memory to save the world. There are two ways to think about and act in the world. First, there is our usual way. According to our usual way, we have private thoughts and choose, as independent actors with full autonomy and control, to interact with other separate people and things of the world. Sound familiar? It should. It is how we lived our entire lives up to this point. The second way is the new vision, the new way of seeing being taught in the Course. With our new vision, we are mirrors or channels of God's love. As the lesson title tells us, this new way of seeing is how we save the world as well as ourselves. And since it is God's way, it has all the power and understanding of God behind it. It cannot fail. As the introduction to the entire course tells us, A Course in Miracles is a required course. Only the time at which you take it, or a similar spiritual path, is up to you. In other words, all of us will eventually wake up. All of us will someday see through the eyes of our real eternal self. But why delay? As the Course tells us, delay of joy is needless. You have been given all the tools that you need. The key to your prison cell is in your hand.